woman has so many stories, and so have I. And I think becoming a woman, from a girl to a woman is such a big process. I think curious to see what songs people will gravitate to. I think all over, very excited, a little bit nervous because it's also like your baby. You've been situation of I'm very peaceful, but don't test me. Yeah, that's kind of inner child, right? And I guess this album has really, I've grown with the album. Overall, it's just like a journey that has helped me grow a lot. And
Welcome to the show. This is Ansla Ulio 94.3 Radio 1. And let me tell you, today it's going to be extra special because we are talking about an artist who doesn't just make music, she basically embodies it, like blending in culture, sounds, and identifies with effortless confidence. And she's been redefining what it means to be global and rooted at the same time. And today I have Bombay Mami in the house. Welcome to the show.
thank you so much. Thank you. That was a nice introduction. I love that.
All right. So tell me, how do you feel or how excited are you for the Peaceful Attitude that's releasing in just 2 days?
Nervous, excited, and yeah, just like super curious to see what songs people will gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think all over, very excited, a little bit nervous because it's also like your baby, you've been kind of just like having to yourself and, raising it, that now it's like, okay, go out to the world.
Yeah, truly. So let's go with the title itself. That is, Peaceful Attitude is such a powerful title. Let's say that. So, what does that phrase personally mean to you, like maybe right now in your life?
I think it's always been my motto in life,
Mm-hmm.
being obviously, my name is Shanta, so it
Mm-hmm.
means peaceful. And obviously, when you have such a name, I guess you have to live up to it, have that type of attitude. But, it's also a bit of a situation of I'm very peaceful, but don't test me, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's always a balance.
So, and you have described this album as your journey into womanhood, right? So, was there any particular moment or maybe an experience for you to decide on this thing?
I think overall, growing up as a woman, I feel we have so many, every woman has so many stories, and so have I. And I think becoming a woman, from a girl to a woman is such a big process, I think. And we all go through it. And I feel it's never ending. Even I guess when you think you're grown, I think you still feel like you have that, yeah, that kind of inner child, right? And I guess this album has really, I've grown with the album, like some of the songs I wrote were also kind of like a manifestation for
Yeah.
me to become that woman, for me to grow into that woman and keep reminding myself so I never get into situations again that I maybe have been in. So yeah, I think overall it's just like a journey that has helped me grow a lot and kind of in the direction I want to go.
Brilliant. So let's talk about music right now. Like your music, I felt that it beautifully blends into Anglo Swiss, Indian, pop, R&B, and even classical. So let me ask you, did this fusion come to you naturally, or was it something you did very, consciously? Like you need this element in your music. Was it like that?
I think it's a mix because I feel like growing up in, between obviously Switzerland and India, and then growing up also with the pop culture that came from America and, England, there
Mhm.
was a lot of like inspiration from, the 90s, early 2000s era, like, Missy Elliott, Timberland, Aaliyah, like MIA, all these people that have been very influential for me as, a teenager. And then, when growing up, obviously my father loves Indian classical music. So in our house, that's what was played mostly, Indian classical music. So I grew up, also with that song, that kind of style and genre. So I definitely feel like when I tapped into Indian classical music myself, when I started training myself, it really opened up a world for me. And it really helped me understand what I want to create more and how I would like to blend these two worlds. Or two worlds is a bit different. So many worlds I feel are being blended. It's not just two worlds. I feel like because, then there's like the last song that I released, Gulabi Mantra, which is
Mhm.
like a Brazilian inspired beat, baile funk, and then with obviously a trumpet, and then we have the sarod and the tabla. So yeah, it's very, I think, a big fusion, a really big fusion.
All right. So now let's talk about your song Grown. Like that really stands out as an anthem, right? So what
Mm.
emotions or probably message were you hoping listeners would take away from that?
Mm, I obviously talk to my younger self. Like you've been through all these situations in life and not always easy situation, and you are born literally a strong woman. And I want other women, and of course anybody else, but especially women, to just believe in their superpower, believe in their weaknesses to be their strengths. Actually, that things that people say are your weakness, I feel can be your strengths or can become your strengths. And I think I really had to learn that, and I'm still learning that. So I definitely feel that's what I would love for people to take away from it. Like everything is within you, you just have to tap into it.
All right. So now, your song Fire in Delhi had such a striking introduction. Like it went viral, right? Especially that iconic visual of you snowboarding in a lehenga. So tell me, did you expect that kind of a global reaction for that particular song?
No, no. I was overwhelmed. I think everybody around me was kind of overwhelmed. I
Mhm.
was not expecting that type of reaction at all, but obviously it was great because it was like now people kind of discovered me, and especially I feel, South Asian girls, especially, which is obviously who I guess not I make my music for, but I think about a lot when I make music, because I feel like when I grew up, I didn't have a lot of, like, yeah, MIA was there, which I'm really grateful for. But other than that, in the pop world, there wasn't very limited.
Okay, so when we look back at your songs, so it could be like Hot Boys or Gulabi Mantra or even Fire in Delhi, do you feel like each of these tracks represent a different version of Bombay Mami?
Yeah, I think different but same in one way, because, like, obviously, I feel like we all have so many facets to
Mhm.
us. Like, we have, we're vulnerable, we're soft, but we're also strong and independent, and sometimes angry, and sometimes, there's so many sexy, so many sides of us. And I love, and it's so, I feel like we live in a world where people, we tend to box each other into, yeah, just like, this is who you are, this is who you are. And no, we're so many different things. It depends on the situation. Because so I definitely feel, yes, that's definitely, you're very correct. I think all the songs have like a different personality in some way of me.
There is one thing that I've noticed, that is you are very fearless in expressing your themes like around identity, empowerment, and even vulnerability. So, was there a moment where where you held it back, or what was the reason for you to become this unapologetic?
I think, I started doing music very early. Like I was like, I think 14 when I was the first time in the studio. And back then it was like not very usual to go to studio, especially when you come from Switzerland. It's like, so I was surrounded by a lot of men,
Mhm.
always men in the studio, and me, the only girl. And it kept on going and going. And I'm saying great men, not, I didn't have many bad experiences, but it's still something where you feel like you have to always prove yourself and you have to always be like, you have to really stand up for yourself and what you want, because otherwise they will just kind of run you over in some way. And I think growing up I really felt like, okay, there is really, more to this than just me standing up for myself. I feel like this is me standing up for girls in general. So, yeah, I definitely feel like, there were turning points in my life. I couldn't tell you exact turning points, but I think it's an accumulation of things where I just felt like, yeah, no, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is not anybody else's decision. Because I used to also listen to other opinions a lot, and I just don't do that as much anymore. Like, I like to get opinions from people that I feel like musically have a really good understanding or creative direction, but I really try to follow my instinct and my gut feeling.
Mhm. I think that's a great message that you have for girls like me out here. And
Yeah.
we come to the very last question. Like now that peaceful attitude will be out in a couple of days, what does success look like for you with this project?
So I would obviously love to go. I will. I'm manifesting. I will. I come to India, different states to perform. I would love to be in different cities in India. Um, I really want to go on tour. I really hope, I can connect with more people and create more music through this album, because that would be like just, yeah, I would love to come and create in India and just be even more immersed into things, and I really hope I can quit my day job.
Oh, wow. I mean, manifesting that for you all the way from
Thank you.
Bangalore. All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Ansila. Ciao, ciao.